Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Turnaround Marriage Live. And we are here to encourage you today. We want to encourage you in your marriage. And we want to help you to think about maybe one of the reasons that you've gotten stuck is you've believed that things couldn't get better. Maybe you have believed even that the task was too difficult, that it was too hard to fix things. If that's you, or if you felt like maybe things have been hopeless, this is exactly the place you need to be today.
Welcome, everybody. We are Scott and Rachel with Turnaround Marriage, and we help committed Christian couples finally end the cycles of conflict, negativity, and disconnection and reclaim the love, passion, and playfulness that they once had. And we want to talk about the question, have you ever done hard things in your life? I think this belief is that, oh gosh, my marriage is too hard to fix. It's too hard to rehash the past. It's too hard to figure out what's broken. It's going to take too much emotional energy. We just can't do it. It's been broken for too long. Whatever your excuses might be. But we have a question for you. Have you ever done hard things in your life? Right? Let's think about in your life, what hard things have you ever done? Okay, almost every single one of you has done the hard thing of planning a wedding, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe going off and eloping against your parents' wishes. That was a hard thing, right? You probably all have finished school in some way, or maybe you had to go back to school. Maybe you decided that you were going to lose weight once and for all, and you decided to stick with a plan and lose some weight, or get on a diet, or start taking charge of your health. Or maybe it was in the area of your finances, and you finally said, you know what, enough is enough. We're gonna fix this now. Okay,
Yeah.
so we want to remind you guys, you already know how to do hard things.
Absolutely. And, just to throw out there, I mean, there's a lot of people that we speak with that they've gone through basic training, like,
Yeah.
or they've gotten specialized training in their careers. They have really done hard things. And I've joked, like, did you ever tell the drill instructor, I'm too tired today?
Right.
Like, no, you don't say that. And so you're right, Rach. Like, every single person, maybe they've endured something and they came out the other side stronger. Like, maybe they had to endure abuse in their homes growing up and they're a strong person as a result. Like, everybody out there, to some degree, God has made us incredibly resilient. And whatever you've gone through, whatever you've pressed through, you guys have all done hard things. And some of those things have been accomplishments, professionally. Some of them have been physical accomplishments. Some of them have been literally things that you have just gotten through, whether that's in your personal life, in your family, maybe in your childhood, maybe it was in school, maybe it was facing the bullies. Like, you went through difficult things and you came through in the other end. And we're saying all this because what we hear an awful lot, Rach, is things like this. Scott, I'm just done now. Scott, too much has happened. I just can't do it anymore. Scott, it just isn't. I'm empty. I don't have any more to give. These are the types of things we hear all the time. But let me ask, is it actually true?
Yeah, because if your belief is that it's too hard, you will never try. Like, if you're not a runner and someone said to you, um, if someone said to you, you know what, you should run a half marathon. You could do it. This is what someone said to me when I was 29 years old. I never ran a day in my life. And it was one of my coworkers. And she said, you look like a runner. You should run. I said, I don't run. I don't run after anything except for cake. And she said, you can run. You're built like a runner. I said, there is no way. I can't even run around the block. She said, give me 4 months and I'll help you. And I'm not kidding you. I was like, you know what would it be in it for me? She said, what feeling of accomplishment. So there was 2 of us in the office. We decided we were going to do it. We met with her either before or after work for 4 months. And guess what? In the first day, I couldn't even run a mile. I think after a minute, I was huffing and puffing and I had a cramp. And she said, stick with me. We can do this. And she had a plan and she coached me through. And I'm telling you, the 2 of us, we did it. We ran that half marathon 4 months later in the freezing cold rain in St. Louis. And we did not stop one time. Like, we ran the entire time, 10-minute miles. It was like the most encouraging day of my life. I was like, I can do hard things. I'm here to tell you, you have done hard things too, right? Like Scott said, there are a million examples we could give you, whether you've overcome an illness or whether you've learned to live with chronic pain, or whether you've struggled with a child with a learning disability, or whether you had to put yourself through school. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. And if you just look back over your life and you say, when have I ever done hard things? When did I ever make that hike and make it to the top? When did I ever finish that race? When did I ever get that assignment done at the last minute, or stay up till midnight, or stay up all night studying for that exam, or, cross that stage and get my diploma when I didn't think I could? Like, there's hundreds of references we could
Absolutely.
help you remember
Yeah.
of when you've done hard things. We're here to tell you fixing your marriage is just one more hard thing.
Yep.
It's just one more hard thing. And guess what's at stake? Everything's at stake. Like, we're here to just tell you, do not give up. Do not just succumb to the belief that it's too hard and I can't do it. Because with God, all things are possible.
Absolutely.
All things are possible. And he is a God of the impossible. He's a God who helps us do hard things. He's a God who empowers us to do hard things. He's a God who strengthens us to do hard things. And he's not giving up on you.
No.
So how
That's a
could
good
you
thing.
give up?
Yeah, exactly. And, Rachel, as I look back on us, our story, this is absolutely what filled my mind. Just to be straightforward and honest. And guys, the heart of what we're saying here is just to fill you with hope and the belief of better days ahead, and believing that God can accomplish this, and that you can accomplish this, and that God in his heart has for you a marriage that is far better than what it has been. And for us, when we were really stuck, it was like in those darkest moments, it was like, Rachel, your heart seemed impenetrable to me. And I'm sure mine did as well. Like, it just seemed like we were so far apart that there was a wall between us. And we tried the counseling, and we talked to friends, and we read books, and we did the retreats, and we were trying everything we knew what to do. And it just wasn't working. And so the belief became, oh, we've tried things. Now it's even way harder than I imagined. And is it me or is it her? Like, how could we get through this? And it was just believing again that it really took somebody believing in us that things could be better. And what really part of the story was, wow, you guys are really far apart, but at least you're committed to each other. Committed to the misery in some ways. And we're like, yeah, what a great place to start in our marriage is that we're not quitting. And that really was the foundation for moving ahead.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. And whether you've birthed a child, or you've had a C-section, or you've had a natural birth, or you've homeschooled, or you've put your kids in school, or you've been a stay-at-home mom, or whether you went back to school, or whether you stayed in a job that was difficult, or you decided to start your own business and venture out, like, how many hard things have you done in your life? If you want to, drop in the comments some of the hard things you've already done in your life. We would love to see, because if you start thinking and you let your mind start to remember, you will be so encouraged to remember and see the hard things that you've already accomplished, that you've already figured out how to do, whether you figured it out on your own or whether you found the right help and you guys did it together.
And when you have gone through those hard things, let's think about it. Those are the moments we look back on and we think, wow, we did that. And we think, wow, there was so much beauty even in the struggle. Like even our kids, we took them on an 8-mile hike that was a couple weeks ago. That was a mountain climb, and it was strenuous and tiring. And we were talking about it, and they were like, "Well, would we do it again?" Well, maybe not today. Like, they wouldn't.
Not today.
They didn't want it. We did a shorter hike today. Maybe they wouldn't want to do that longer hike. But when they look back, they're like, "Yeah, but we did it. We accomplished it, and it feels good, and we can tell people that we did it." And so, guys, what I want to say to you, and this is true, so true of our marriage now. Like, we look back, and yeah, there's some regrets, and yeah, I wouldn't want to go through some of those hard things again. But that is the beauty of where God has brought us through and from, and that is the foundation in so many ways of our marriage now. And look at it. Look, we're helping couples fix their marriages now.
Well, it's beautiful, but
it's a beautiful thing.
It's because the hard things are actually
yes
what build the muscle to get you to where it's like who you become on the way.
Right.
It's like that's what God uses in our life to chisel and shape us, to form Christ in us. It's those hard, if life was just a smooth linear line and it was just like easy and just uphill and there were never any setbacks or bumps, how boring would it be, number one? And secondly, what muscle would we build? Would we build perseverance or patience or resilience?
That's so true.
Right?
Absolutely. And so what if in the heart of God is for you not to give up? What if in the heart of God is for him, he has, regardless of what has happened, whatever brokenness is in your relationship, in your marriage, in your family, to think in the heart of God what he might have very well in store for you might be incredible beauty. You might be on the cusp of giving up, and around the corner, God has an incredible new beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Because what did he design marriage to be? A place of always hardness, of disconnect, of struggle? Or did he design it to be a place of belonging and unconditional love and forgiveness and beauty?
Mm-hmm.
That's really what's in God's heart for you. And so we just want to implore all of you out there that you don't give up. Because what if you need to go through this hard thing of restoring your marriage, fixing it, working on it for the beauty to come? What if this is exactly what you need for it to be the impetus of doing things very, very differently?
Mm-hmm.
Could I use the analogy we use in our master class? I guess it'd be okay. About our horseshoes.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, guys, we use this in the master class. We want to definitely point that to you guys today. But in our master class, we talk about the illustration of orange juice. Like if you had a glass of orange juice sitting in the back of the fridge for like 10 years, if you pulled it out, you're not going to want to drink it. And it's kind of like a marriage that has not been nurtured very well, and or there's been a lot of dysfunction. You bring it out, and couples think, I can add a little sugar, a little counseling, a little bit of a retreat, or a little bit of a book, kind of what we were trying. And you need to just add a little bit of sweetener to it, some honey or sugar, but it's not going to make it taste good. You don't throw away the cup. You don't throw away the whole marriage. You don't throw away the memories. You throw away the orange juice, which represents the way you've been doing marriage. And you wash it out and you fill it up with what works. When you can do that, that's the hard thing you need to do. When you can do that, beauty can be restored quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Quickly.
Yeah, it's our belief that for most Christian marriages, it does not have to take forever, and it doesn't have to be grueling. Like we've seen that with the clients we've worked with, the ones we've worked with personally. It just, that is by far the belief we have, and those are the results we get. But if you have the belief that your marriage is too hard, that it's just too far gone, that you just can't, you'll never try.
Right.
And guys, if you'll never try, you've already failed. The only way to fail is to not try or to give up now. And so we're just here to remind you of the hard things that you've already done in your life, the hard things God has already helped you overcome, and the value of a marriage that honors God and what is possible. If you could just open up your mind to think back, and what if you didn't go through that hard thing of crossing the stage or getting your diploma or going back to school or raising your children or going through that illness and coming out on the other side or rehabbing your knee or whatever it might be. Like, if you hadn't gone through those things, you wouldn't be the person you are. And so in the same way, going through this season in your marriage, like Scott said, it could be the exact thing that you need to refine you and chisel you into who God has for you.
That's so true.
Yeah, this wind is not helping my hair. But anyway, so guys, our
but you
bottom
do hard
line,
things. It's all good.
Yes, I do hard things like brush my hair. But what? Yeah, our goal here is just to encourage you and help you remember who you are, that you are an overcomer, that you are a victor in Christ, that the hard things that God has laid out for you that are good, they're good. Hard things are usually good. If you think about it, raising your children is a hard thing, but it is a good thing.
Absolutely.
Nurturing a marriage is hard, but good,
Yes.
right? Going back to school, learning something new, getting a new skill, getting up early, working out, getting out of debt, making money, all these things are hard, but good, and they're all worth it. And so we're just here to remind you, you can do hard things. And if your marriage is in shambles and you need help, you don't have to go it alone. That is why we're here.
Absolutely. So guys, what we have for you today is many of you have already seen, but there's a good number that have never seen our master class. And we want to encourage you to check that out. All you need to do is go to turnaroundmarriage.com/class and register for a time that works. Just dive into that. And we come at marriage from a different perspective and helping you to give you 5 simple shifts that you can make right away that can make all the difference in the world with your marriage.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So you just go to www.turnaroundmarriage.com/class and you check it out, and you'll see those 5 simple shifts Christian couples use to get a quick turnaround in their marriage, to fall back in love again. Guys, it's for you.
Yeah,
these hard things are good things, and you can do them, and you don't have to go it alone.
Absolutely.
So until next time, we're wishing you hope and help for your Christian marriage. We'll
God
talk to you
bless you guys.
soon.
Talk soon.